Alright everyone, so last time I was talking about ways that you can make details more interesting, and I went on to talk about expanding, how you can expand things and put in details to make them more interesting. The next one today is what I think of as deepening, right? So sometimes this idea of deepening, it can overlap with expanding things in some examples, that I'm going to give, depending on how you look at it. But instead of expanding our setting or our characters, we're digging deeper into them, right? So we can deepen settings. This can be kind of like in a physical way. So if we wanted to deepen the setting instead of expanding it, we get more detailed with items we've already mentioned. So most likely those are going to be what I called last time, our anchor items. So if we get back to number 12, Grimmauld Place from Harry Potter, if I wanted to deepen it through detail and description, I would describe the troll leg umbrella stand or the portrait of Mrs. Black in more detail. Now, I mentioned that the troll leg umbrella stand, maybe now I would mention that it has a missing toe. And that would help go deeper. And I could go deeper and I can explain what that part of the foot looks like in more detail. It looks withered, like the toe just kind of withered away and shrank off or something like that. I can get deeper and deeper by describing, the troll leg stand or the missing toe area in more detail each scene that it is in. And I'm defining it with more specificity. Okay, now, it might sound a little ridiculous to do this with, like, the troll leg umbrella stand, but this is a great technique to use with settings or items that are significant to the story or the character. So, last time I mentioned, I used my bedroom as an example. In it, I have this Michael Jackson nesting doll. If my Michael Jackson nesting doll, if it was, like, a symbol for a theme in my story or something, I might describe it in more and more detail in each scene that's in. And so it gets deeper and it makes it feel more important. Then you can deepen settings, what I call internally. So, your characters have feelings, of course. They can have feelings about the setting. And so the more personal the setting is to someone, the deeper it feels. So number 12, Grimmauld Place, it gets more depth when we learn that it's Sirius's childhood home. If the story were told from Sirius's viewpoint instead of Harry's, it would feel more personal and deep to us as we learned more about Sirius's childhood there. How his parents and brother were into the dark arts, and how he didn't fit in and never felt like he belonged, and how he ran away from the place. And now, how he's basically imprisoned in it because he can't be seen in public. So we could deepen the personal aspect of each time a scene takes place there. So, say the first time we learn that it's Sirius's childhood home. Then the second, we learn that his mother frequently abused him there as he was growing up, and one time she actually chained him up in the closet. And the third, Sirius is in his bedroom, and he remembers how he'd left a rude note on his dresser, had emptied his closet, and hid his favorite book under a floorboard when he ran away from home. So we get deeper and deeper with the setting and the characters on a personal level by doing this. Okay, then we can apply it to characters, right? We can deepen the physical part of our characters, our descriptions. So this follows the same idea, right? So one of Harry's physical anchors is his lightning-shaped scar. We could deepen it by describing it in more detail as scenes went on. So first, all we know is that it's a lightning-shaped scar on his forehead. And then in another scene, we learn it's in the exact middle of his forehead. I mean, I don't believe the books actually say exactly where it is, which is why book covers and movies have it in different places. But as an example. And then in another scene, we might describe the texture. Maybe it has bumps, maybe it bumps up or it feels like a ridge. And another, we might describe that it's tanner and than the rest of his skin, if that makes sense. So in the books, Harry's scar does get a deeper and deeper meaning, which is more tied to magic and his internal self than just the physical, which is kind of, a nice segue into the internal part. So you can deepen characters internally, how they are. With each scene, you can go deeper into a character's internal makeup. And if we get back to last time, I used an example of this girl, just a character I made up on the spot, basically, who was like the queen of sarcasm, and she hates chocolate. Well, in one scene, we might learn she had an argument with her mom about religion, and that frayed their relationship. And maybe in a later scene, we learn that her argument with her mom led the queen of sarcasm to start an atheist club to prove that not all atheists are evil. So through the story, we would get deeper and deeper into the subject by getting more detailed, specific. We'd get more detailed, specific, and would be fine-tuning our explanation of that trait. Most likely, though, we'd want to deepen one of our characters' dominating internal characteristics, probably the one that will be a part of their character arc. So for this character, maybe first we kind of see her sarcasm, then in another scene, we learn that she can't deal with raw emotion, and that's why she's sarcastic. So we're kind of deepening with these details. We delve deeper and deeper into the internal structure sarcasm has in her. So to do this, we might talk about the why and how of her sarcasm, getting more and more specific with it. While deepening might relate to the character arc and subject matter, it is not the actual character arc. Character arcs have to do with putting things in motion, which we're going to get to and talk about next time for the third tip, the third method to make details and description more interesting in your writing. So, thanks for joining me today. Get my latest writing tips at septembercfox.com. Subscribe, follow, all those good things, and see you next time.